Now, here's neat. I hope the way this is running, this was the first cam. Yes, this is a video taken from one of our nests.
Yep.
And this is what we call the beginning. She just laid this first egg.
Yep, and there she is, proud mom.
Yep, proud. And the male is right there. He's not going to leave this egg unattended for but seconds.
Yep.
He doesn't want a crow or a raven to come in, but he doesn't want it to get cold.
Yep.
And she's going to go off now, get her own dinner, and he'll sit on it for 3 or 4 hours, and then she'll come back having eaten and sit again. Hopefully, and in this case she did. The next few days she laid another egg. And they lay 2 or 3 eggs, 2 or 3. Usually 2. Here's another kind of neat thing. I jumped one. That's okay. Here was the first feeding. Tiny egg really, but tiny chick. And this is the very, very first feed. Oh, it didn't activate. Why didn't it activate? All right, there we are. We're not activating this one for reasons that I don't know, so we'll go to the next one. Our whole program of education and making people aware of the environment is not just about eagles. We have several cameras underwater. This is where it was a bit of a milty day. This one is actually on the Gold Stream.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We talked about this last.
This is the ducks over.
This is
just an accident you got.
Well, an accident. This is one of the underwater cameras.
Yep.
And where it was showing, it's a camera that's in the intertidal zone. Part of the time it's above the water.
Yep.
Then the river comes up because of the tide. And all of a sudden you get to see salmon, and then you maybe get to see a seal chasing a salmon. And here was a dead salmon, and it's being torn apart.
And you didn't
by
know,
ducks.
And you didn't know that the ducks were feeding on the salmon.
No, we knew that these are sea ducks. We knew that they ate birds' eggs, salmon eggs. Nobody had ever
seen them eating the salmon.
Tearing apart a salmon. Well, so this is becoming part of a scientific paper. So we learn science, but we see some, really quite interesting things. Here's another shot. Oh, darn it! Why is this one not activating?
What? This is, you said you were just working on this.
No, I've been using these. It's just for a reason that I don't know. Going through your system here, it's not active. Can you just hit the entry key, or do you have an entry?
No,
I got the entry key.
You're the only one controlling anything.
No, for some reason this is not active. Too bad. This is also Gold Stream, where we have one of the cams. Mm-hmm. The actual first viewing site for this camera is in a nature house, and kids come there, one class after another, and just like you play Nintendo and so on with a joystick, we have joysticks that operate this camera, so they can pan tilt the camera or zoom it in. And this, unfortunately, this particular shot, they had zoomed in, and they found a rare eagle. It was not even a bald eagle. It turns out it's probably a hybrid between a stellar sea eagle from Kamchatka.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, a huge eagle. I mean, it's twice the size of our eagles. So the kids actually filmed something that has already become another scientific paper because it was so rare. So the story of a river, that's the story of our foundation. We are really trying to tell what happens to water. It falls on the mountaintops. It works its way down through the streams, picks up the nutrients, picks up the minerals, but it also picks up all the pesticides and the pollutants, and it carries them on downstream and ultimately into the sea. So that's part of the story that the foundation is attempting to tell. Oh, here's another one. Oh, this, for reasons that I don't know, this is not working today. Sorry about that. That was an underwater camera where we were looking at various species of salmon on the Chehalis River. I don't know why it isn't. I just used these elsewhere, but through your system, they're not actually activating. I don't know why. One of the things that we're going to be working on, this is the new emblem of British Columbia, the mammal emblem.
And you're the first person to publish a book on it.
Well, no, I think some other people had, but we did a book that was pretty important. Jane Goodall very kindly wrote the foreword for it, and it's about trying to get the habitat of the white spirit bear preserved up around Princess Royal Island, which has been done. Yes. It's made into a big preserve. So we're quite pleased about that. We're hoping to have cameras on the white spirit bear coming up. So that will be a really exciting adventure. There's another shot of a white spirit bear. And this is a black bear. It's called the white spirit bear by the natives. But it is a black bear, but it's a white phase. And a white phase mother, if she bred...
It's not albino.
No, it's not an albino.
It's just a white phase.
It's a white phase. And if she mated with a black bear, then she's going to have, as this one has, a black cub. But a mother could have, if she mated with another white one, she could produce all white offspring, which some of them do. In fact, that cover of the book which you saw had 3 cubs up one tree. That was obviously from a white female mating with a white male. Yeah.
So it's not a regressive. Is that a regressive gene or is that
recessive? Recessive, not regressive. Recessive. It is pure Mendelian recessive gene. So I don't know why this is not working the way it does. But anyway, we've come to the end.
Hang on a second here. We've got another
a call. Yep. Great.
Are you there?
Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes. Hi there. Before you say anything, I'm just going to give to David the 2 books that Karen just kindly brought up. One is the book I wrote on bald eagles. It turns out we don't have Doug Carrick's fine book that he just did, and another one we did for kids. And these are available from the foundation. So there's 2 more. So you've got at least our modern version.
This is the modern version.
You're not just showing a book that I wrote 30 years ago.
Well, that's okay. Yes, okay.
Anyway, what was this lady's question?
Go ahead, ma'am.
I have a question about the delta nest.
Yes.
And how long will the adults sit on the eggs until they realize that they're not viable?
Good question. And I predicted that they would have left today. So my prediction wasn't on. These are young birds, and just as they may not have learned how to mate right, they haven't honed down. Some birds will leave, if the eggs aren't going to hatch on about the 37th day, they'll already leave. These are, I think, about the 40th or 41st day already, and they haven't left. That, again, could speak to the fact that they're inexperienced and simply don't yet, haven't got all the naturalness worked out, and so they're still sitting there. I suspect they'll leave any day. I mean, I thought they might have left today. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make a point that you have lots of other books. This one was a fantastic book, The Complete Falconer. All the pictures by Frank Beebe.
Now, if you're going to mention The Complete Falconer, it was done by Frank Beebe, who was my mentor. And Frank just died in November.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he just died. And we're doing we've commissioned a biography on his life. I'm trying to excite the Provincial Museum into doing a big showing about, because we have a huge collection of his art. I mean, he was an incredible artist. He's probably one of the last people, in the 14, 15, 1600s, people could write the natural history of the world.
And he could have done it.
He was probably the last person who could have, he had such an ecological understanding of things. He probably would have been the last person who could have written that. I mean, he was just a marvelous genius when it came to understanding ecological relationships.
And you were a falconer yourself.
I was. I started at 14. He got me into falconry.
And you actually, if I remember right, presented Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, with 2 falcons back in, 57 or 56, something like that?
Yeah, I think it was in the early 60s. Frank handed Prince Philip the falcon, and it was rather funny because they were talking about how Mrs. Obama touched the Queen. Yes. Well, I've had the privilege of touching the Queen because when we presented that pair of falcons, I had to hold her arm as I slipped on a glove onto her hand with the male. So I've actually touched the Queen also.
Well, I've touched the Queen and Prince Philip in different situations of the Pan American Games, and one of them in 1967, but that's another story.
That's another story.
Maybe Obama's wife didn't do so well after all.
Oh, no, I think she did very well. I mean, I was just
funny.
Well,
maybe it wasn't that unusual.
No, there you go.
Well, I think what it was her familiarity.
Yes, yeah, she got into the cuddling. I never actually got cuddling. Never got cuddling the Queen, no.
But your old other friend got, what was his name, the commissioner in the Northwest Territories?
Oh.
You know who I mean.
Yes, I know who you mean, and I'm apologizing that I can't remember his name.
I know him well either. But he fell flat first in his tuxedo up at Old Crow in the DC-9 when he went around from the back of the plane to meet her. because he was the commissioner.
Yes.
And we'll remember his name in a minute.
Yes. When we
And he showed up brushing all the stuff off in front of him. He looks at him and says, "You're late."